Er Ayla. Welcome into my channel, Besan. This week I'm doing a video on protecting yourself when the veil is thinning. Enjoy. Hi guys, Tuva here. I thought it would be nice to carry on from the subject I've just done, which was about the thinning of the veil, but I also wanted to help you guys understand that when these things happen that you're not expecting, that there are ways to protect yourself, and I thought it would be good to show you some ways that I use personally when I don't want to be disrupted by anything that shouldn't be around at this time. To start off with a little bit of drumming, just to get our energies great because of the time of year it is. And then I thought it'd be good to balance ourselves with the rhythm of the year. If you don't know what I mean by that, every time of the year, every month has a rhythm, just like the universe. We have a rhythm inside us as well. You just go with the flow, whatever comes to you. While you're doing this, think about what type of protection would help you. Just want to bring in the feeling of love. Strength. Ooze. Ooze. What else can you bring in? Protection around you. Seek a goddess or a god. What one do you wish? Freya, and that is all you need to do to bring your level up and to make you feel really good inside. Protection, what is it? What does protection do? Well, in my own opinion, and this is only my opinion guys, you have to take what you believe as what you understand. But my idea of protection is something that makes you feel safe, that you know even if something does get to you that you have a way out, that you are protected, but you have to be sensible and realise that you have to protect yourself as well as seeking protection. So it's a bit like when you have an alarm system on a house. If you don't switch it on, you're not protected. So it's again like with spiritual stuff, you need to be protected. Now I'm not talking about the sort of protection where you put yourself in a bubble and all that. There are many ways you can stop the spiritual aspects coming into your life when you don't want them to. Fair enough, fair dues. Not every time do you want to wake up in the night and see a spirit in your room or have occurrences going on around, sometimes very unnerving. This time of the year with the veil thinning, we do get these things. Now, you can use incenses to guard yourself. Now, I like to use incense in every room, and depicting on the energy of each room depends on what incense you would use. And the good one really, and I do stand by this one, is dragon's blood. Now I burn the dragon's blood until it becomes the powder. If you get the sticks and you burn them, they then burn, and when you get enough of what's burnt, don't throw it away. That comes in handy. You can mark doorways with it, you can bury it just outside your street door, or you can just scatter it over your step. All this will do is put a barrier up, a bit like salt. Again, you could use salt and water. So you can, obviously you would need to put the salt and the water together, and then you'd need to bless it, you'd need to consecrate it. You can just get away with using salt. It's the water that absorbs the spirit. So that is the main thing. When you're consecrating salt and water, it's not the salt that you're consecrating. You bless the salt, but you consecrate the water, because water is an open vessel and it absorbs energies and thoughts. So if you're standing over a bowl of water and you're thinking something, it will be in that water. So you need that water to be completely cleansed when you put the salt into it. So again, you bless the salt, you consecrate the water. Once put together, they become one, and that is okay. It is then ideal for spraying around the room, putting, you know, wherever you want really. Again, you can use sigils. You can put sigils around the house. You can wear sigils. You can go to bed at night wearing a sigil, or putting one on a piece of paper underneath your pillow. Why do they come, you might ask? Why do they pester us? Well, spirit have a different way of living. They don't have a time frame like what we have. So they don't go to bed at a set time, and they don't get up and eat at a set time. Time is infinite to them. And so they just pop here and pop there when it suits them. So they turn up in your room while you're asleep. Why is that? Well, you're susceptible at that time of night to any messages they want to give. When your brain goes into a certain mode, then they're able to infiltrate those with a dream or whatever to help you in whatever situation you're in. Now, there are different forms of spirit. There are different forms of anything. There are creatures. You get the fairy realm. A lot of people don't believe in that, but believe me, they are around. And if you are the sort of person that will draw on them, they will come to you. And I have, a friend who was inundated with them at one stage, and they used to attack her husband. They didn't like him, and it was obvious. I mean, from bite marks to damage in property that belonged to him. It was quite funny, but not funny for him. She had to do a lot of cleansing and finding out why this was going on. Again, we have to look at ourselves and wonder, why does these things happen? But if they are happening too much and you're fed up with it, then protection is the way to go. You have to make a statement. You have to take control. And one of the ways of doing that is to do a ritual in each room and put guidelines down. You say straight, I don't want to be told anything, I don't want to see anything, I don't want to hear anything in the times of when I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning. If it's important, then fair enough, but other than that, no. You shut your door at night, you switch off and go to sleep. But if you are still being pestered by spirit forms or anything really, energies that you don't want around you, then also you need to cleanse yourself. Now, a good way of doing that would be to have a salt bath before you go to bed, to put a circle around you or around your bed, to really visualize that circle, not just do it. Again, if you believe in angels, you can call upon the angelics to guard your room. Now, don't see them as these airy-fairy type creatures with wings. See them as warriors, as 8 foot tall, standing in the corners of your room. You will find that you feel actually really protected. Other things like eating certain products that will aid you, like, and I know this is funny, but onion is a very good deterrent. Another way also is to shut yourself down at night, and the way I like to do that is to see that I'm closing all the chakras, because sometimes, guys, we open our chakras without realizing it, especially if we are spiritual beings. They tend to pop open, so you need to close them. And when you get to your crown, you let it go and you imagine or visualize a trap door, and you see it come down, and then you bolt it. Nothing can get in, and you are safe. You might say to me, aren't you going a bit above and beyond? It depends what you are going through as to whether you need to do all this sort of stuff. But I also like to have certain candles. Now, with candles, you can do sigil work on them, or you can put runes on them, or you can put messages on them in Theban script, and you can burn them. And you can have them in a safe container and burn them all night with a type of incense built into that candle. Now, there are ways of doing this, which I might go into. If you put below, if you'd like to know about this, I will do one on this, and I will show you how to go about doing it. But it's basically dressing the candle in oils and herbs and incense, and writing and putting that energy into the candle, the right colour scheme, everything, and then burning it in a safe container. And you will feel safe, even if it's not actually doing it. Your brain will think it is, and that is the magic. That is magic, guys. Magic isn't always something that we make happen. It's change. We bend. We change things. So if you've got a mental attitude of being frightened, and you do something to change that view, you will feel safer and you won't be frightened. And that is actually categorizing what magic really is. It's the ability to take something, to bend it, to change it to what you want, to will it, and to give it that power. And that is what protection is all about. Protection comes in many forms. You can bang instruments and go around each room. You can sage every room. But the main thing I like to do is to, as I said in the beginning, take dragon's blood and mark places in the room with the residue. It is very powerful, and it really does help. And also moon water, if you haven't seen the video I've got on that, I've got 2 videos on that. If you'd like to look at them, it explains about moon water and how it benefits us. Another thing, guys, when you're using your tools all the time, you need to cleanse them under the moon or in earth. You need to do this regular to get rid of any bad energies that you might have captured, and to give it pure. Cleansed is wonderful. Even your jewellery, your clothes, you know, you can, statues even, you know, the statues that you have on your altar, wash them down with consecrated salt and water. You'll be amazed at the difference you will feel when those energies have been taken away. Negativity sticks like mud, and it's hard to get off. But we can do it. As witches, we have that inner power. And so, sweep in with your besom. I mean, how much do you use your besom or besom? I use this I do use it, but not as much as I used to. But as you can see, it's quite a raw one, and this was given to me by a really good friend who put her heart and soul into it, and it has stayed with me ever since. I don't decorate them like I used to in the beginning. It's just a phase that I went through where I used to get my broom, I would consecrate it, and I would decorate it with ribbons and things. A lot of people do that, but I don't now. I just like the rawness of the wood. You basically sweep. You sweep everything away with it, and it's brilliant. You know, you can do each room with your protection stuff, and as you finish a room, you use that broom to sweep it out, and you say a spell as you sweep. You know, amazing. If you make up the verse, it's better. As you sweep it out, outwards from the room, and then pile it into the landing and bring it out, and then down the stairs until you have done the whole house, and then out the back door. I always use the back door. Good energy comes in the front door and bad energy goes out your back door. A lot of women or a lot of witches will then proceed to wash their kitchen floor with salt water. That is also good, because once you've got rid of it all, you don't want it coming back in when you open your back door. Good sensible thing to do. I also put the dragon's blood and symbols. I will use a rune symbol and put that at the doors. A good way of protecting not only you, but everybody that lives in your family. When you're preparing food, you don't know where the food has been. A bit like with coronavirus, you know, when you get your packages home, you wipe them down. How much better than to wipe them down with consecrated salt water, you know, and they're cleansed. Nothing is going to invade your home or your family. You will notice, after doing this regularly, you will notice a complete difference in the energy in your home, and you may not get quite so many visitors to your bedroom at night, and that will help you. If you like getting all the visitation, that is okay, guys. Everybody is different, and for some people it gets very intense around this time of the year when the veil is thinning. For other people, they don't notice a change. For witches and psychics and people in the occult, because of the way we work, we draw that energy. So we get it all year round, but it can be a little bit more at these times of the year, because the thinning of the veil happens in June as well. You have it twice a year, and we do make use of that, but also it can have an opposite effect. I don't class it as a negative effect, but I do protect my home anyway from other things. You know, the fairy folk can be a bit of a nuisance. If the door, again, your back door, your street door, your windows are open, they can pop in your house, and if you don't understand their ways, it can cause you problems. In the Norse tradition, a lot of reference is given at alphabet to the elves, you know, the dark elves and the elves, and they will come and they will disrupt. You have to be aware and make a pact with them. Once they're your friends, it's okay, and they will guard your property, and that is great. But you have to be aware that they are there, and then make a pact with them around alpha block time for the following months. You know, people say, oh, you're crazy. No, I know they exist because I have had dealings with them. And so, everybody to their own. If you've had dealings with something, you know it exists. It helps you to understand it better. But again, if you want to know specific ways of dealing with anything, again, I, at this time of the year, will be bringing in earth from the graves. Now, you can use that in death deity work. But afterwards, it's a good idea to put good thought into that earth and take it back to the gravesite. You're only using it for a limited time, so that needs to go back, whatever's left, of course. Again, if you're doing poppet dolls or anything like that, you need to be sure that you have done the banishing ritual upon it. I have a video on how to get rid of your poppet doll if you want to watch that. It's doing things the proper way is a safeguard in itself, guys. And if you want to know more, just write a comment below and I will always get back to you. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It's a quick one this week. Thank you to any new subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to those returning. I also am very appreciative that you've come back. And to those that are always with me, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. And guys, we're coming up to the beginning of a new year. And who knows what the next year holds or where this channel will go. If there's anything that you would like me to be doing, put it below. Again, just done the rune Yera, which is about planning the future and seeing it come to light. So I don't know what the future holds for the channel, but I would like to hope that it's still here this time next year. Anyway guys, we're going to leave it there. I hope you're all well and everything's great, and I will see you in the next video, which will be the next rune. That will be midweek. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Besan.